Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. So I'm just currently sat outside the gym, and I was gonna start my vlog inside, and I thought, you know what, it's so sunny, I thought I'd actually do this vlog outside. And it's actually my most ever. It is the most requested video that I've ever had, and the fact that I'm only just getting around to do it's a bit like, I think I've been a bit worried about doing it, because as from the title you can see, it's how to get abs, and this is one of the questions that I do get quite frequently on Instagram. Hello. But then there's also kind of like a lot of these things where people say, yeah, like it's like all on social media, it's like I do these ab exercises for really defined abs, and I'm probably like, I just don't post ab workouts because I don't do ab workouts. Like if I'm training them, it's through my compound lifts, it's for bracing. If I ever do them, it's like leg raises, plank, it's a lot of functional lifts, it's a lot of compound lifts. But I wanted to go through kind of like abs 101. So before I did this video, I was kind of having like a little Google around and just typing in Google how to get abs and see what would come up, and the first one that came up was how to get abs in a day or how to get abs in a week. Let me tell you, you're not gonna get abs overnight, like, or probably not in a week. Like, it just honestly doesn't work like that. As much as people think like, yeah, I'm not gonna eat for a week and then obviously my abs are gonna show, it honestly does not work like that. If you want to starve yourself, really would not recommend that. Please don't do that. Nobody do that. That's not the way to go about fat loss, weight loss, whatever you see on social media in terms of people saying don't eat any carbs, all this, all that, don't eat bread, don't eat pasta. I think don't eat bread was like one of the massive common ones. So not only did I see it about the fact that people are putting things out about how, oh, there's a car alarm, about people putting out things on the internet saying this is how you get abs in a week. There's also workouts of doing like 6 ab workouts in a week, which is like crunches, sit-ups, bicycle twists, all those in this like 5-week, 4-week period to get abs by doing hundreds of sit-ups, hundreds of crunches, hundreds of, I don't know what even else there is because I don't do them anymore. That isn't unfortunately going to get those nice defined abs and six-pack that you want. I'm gonna just move into the sun because it's got incredibly chilly. So if you're from England, wow, you'll know that we've had beautiful weather at the moment, which is a very uncommon thing. This is probably one of the best summers we've had in England. Yay, if you're an English person like myself. But I'm gonna sit in the sun, but whoa, I'm gonna sit on this side because then at least you'll be able to see me a little bit. First things first is your nutrition. You've probably heard of the saying, abs are made in the kitchen. Now I feel like this is quite a cliche thing, and it is actually completely cliche, but what food you're fueling your body with and what you're putting into your body will obviously depend and affect your body fat percentage. It doesn't necessarily matter if you train your abs every single day. I've had a lot of people come to me, what's the best ab exercises to tone your abs? There isn't any, unfortunately. Well, I feel like that might be a personal opinion, but I don't think there are exercises to tone your abs. If you are one of those people who wants like abs to show or like a flat stomach or this kind of thing, you need to go back to basics and go back to your nutrition. So stop doing 4 ab workouts a week. A lot of the time, and this is actually probably personal to me, if I do certain ab exercises, and if you don't do ab exercises properly, you're probably going to engage your hip flexors. So doing things like crunches, doing sit-ups, a lot of the time people either cheat the movement or they use their hip flexors, they just don't do it actually properly, so you're not actually engaging anything. This might sound quite like weird or quite rude, like harsh, I don't even know, but no amount of these exercises, so if you did 10 lots of 30 sit-ups, that isn't going to remove the layer of fat that is like covering your abs. Let me take you back to this idea of nutrition and essentially diet. So for fat loss, you need to be in something called a calorie deficit. If you don't know what a calorie deficit is, this is basically you are burning more calories than you are consuming, and there is dust flying all over me. Definitely going to do my next video inside. Being in a calorie deficit will force your body to burn fat. Obviously then this leads to weight loss. If we go to the opposite end of the spectrum, so if you're in a calorie surplus, so this is eating more calories. For each individual, they will store their fat in different places. So this will be different for guys, this will be different for girls, but it'd be different for every single individual. I store my fat on my thighs. I store my fat on my thighs and then just under my bum, and it is what actually took me ages to get used to. And I was like, why can't this area of fat go? Like a couple of years ago I was like, this is so frustrating, the fat won't go. Like, you cannot target fat loss, and like for me this is my stubborn area of fat, and I'd have to be in quite a savage deficit to lose that, probably around 1,500 calories a day. Now my deficit is 1,650 to 1,700 calories. Now I personally wouldn't go much lower than that to drop body fat, and I do that over like a 3 to 5 to 6 week period. And the reason for me personally not wanting to go into a more harsh deficit is because I like food and I just want to keep my energy pretty high. And for me, I know from past experience, when I've been in a deficit of like 1,500 calories, I just don't have the energy. If you're one of those people like me who doesn't want to drop your calories so low that you feel completely lethargic, that you can't train properly, that you get hungry by the time it gets to like 6 p.m, increase your energy expenditure. So myself and Ben do this frequently by going on a walk pretty much every single day. Now this might be a 45-minute to an hour and a half power walk, and I'd burn around 450 calories in the hour, maybe a little bit less, whereas Ben would burn something like 600 because he's a bit heavier, he's moving more weight. So a great way to actually increase your energy expenditure and essentially burn more calories throughout the day is by going on a power walk. I feel like I'm just throwing loads of random things at you, but I'm also going to throw in there that there's no shortcuts, there's no special pill, there's no magic pill, there's no juice diet, there's no drink, there's no cutting out carbs and things like this that is going to make you instantly have abs. It really doesn't work like that. I know there's like a lot of things on social media, a lot of things the internet saying, do this workout, it's going to tone your abs. I think a lot of them just claim that like, take this fat burner, you're going to lose loads and loads of fat and then you're going to have really defined abs. I just think it's quite a poor way of people to kind of like direct things to others and individuals and saying that it's going to help them, when ideally it's not. This is why I think it's taken me so long to do this video, because I thought that by me saying I don't train my abs, people were like, oh, you're such a bitch, like why do you have them there? And it's nothing to do with that really. It's just about your nutrition, what you're eating, how much energy you're expending in the week. If you're in a calorie deficit, there's so many factors. The bottom line is, if you're one of those people who does struggle to lose weight, you might have essentially, maybe you've gone from having 2,100 calories a day and then you're suddenly going to have 1,500 calories a day. But if you do things too quickly, you aren't going to see the results, and then you'll be so disheartened after 2 or 3 weeks that you then need to restart the process again, or you may have essentially just given up. Basically what I'm trying to say there is slower changes and more gradual changes into a calorie deficit and increasing your energy expenditure and your NEAT levels is a much better way than simply like overnight cutting to like 1,000 calories. So you just kind of need to be smart about it. I'm also just going to say one final thing. In terms of like having abs, you need to think about really carefully if you really want them, and it's not something like, if you look at someone who stands on stage, like a bodybuilder, a competitor, yeah, they're going to have really defined chisel abs, but they've worked for weeks and weeks and weeks to maintain that and been at very low calories, and it's something that isn't essentially that sustainable. There's things like genetics go into the shape of your abs, the symmetry of them. Everyone does have them, but obviously they're all different shapes, different sizes. Like sometimes they show, sometimes they don't show, depends what you eat, depends on your fluid intake, bloating, there's so many factors. So don't just solely like look at other people and be like, well, they've got them, they look amazing. They've probably worked super duper hard, been eating nothing, haven't been out. So you need to find the balance of eating well, going to the gym, energy expenditure, don't do a million crunches, it's not going to do anything, having your social life, going out, having a drink, and it's just about finding moderation. Now this video is so random and I'm so sorry, I feel like I've just talked at you, but I actually am going to add in my core stability kind of workout for strength more so than definition, so I hope you enjoy that. You will have just watched my little workout, and it does fire your whole core. As I said to you at the start, a lot of my ab training, strengthening my core, comes through my compound list, which you see in all of my YouTube and all of my Instagram videos. But I really hope you enjoyed this video. I'm sorry it was so random and bizarre, but I will see you in my next one. Bye.